All right, this is Numerical Methods for summer 2018, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the course. My goal here for this short video is to tell you a little bit about the course and prepare you for success this summer. All right, so first off, we're going to go to the Numerical Methods page on e-learning. You should, when you click on it, look something like this. It might look a little different, but I want to point you to the few of the key areas. First off, in course materials content, that's probably the most important area you'll go to, course materials content. If you go there, you're going to find all sorts of stuff. You'll find a link to this video, but you'll also find the syllabus, which I'm going to go through in a moment, and you'll find these modules. These modules correspond to what I also call blocks. There's basically 5 modules or 5 blocks to the course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we take each block in about 2 or 3 weeks. And so I'll show you that in a moment here. But let me walk you through the syllabus. So I'm going to bring up the syllabus, and of course you should read this on your own as well. I'm Dr. Mike Reynolds, and my office is in Building 4, Room 327. There's my office phone number and my cell phone, and my email as well. That's the best way to get a hold of me is email, so please use that first. I don't have any office hours formally, but if you want to make an appointment, feel free to do that. That's not a problem, okay? So just talk a little bit about the course. Basically, Numerical Methods is an applied math course. It's really the kind of math course that a lot of engineers like because we focus on just getting the answer. We focus on solving problems, and we focus on solving a variety of problems, okay? So it's simple things like one equation, one unknown, to very complicated things like boundary value problems and differential equations, okay? So we do a whole range of math, solving multiple equations, multiple unknown, optimization, curve fitting and linear regression, numerical integration, and of course differential equations. And we also spend a good amount of time doing programming. This is the only course that is required in mechanical engineering that has any kind of programming. We don't have a separate programming requirement in mechanical engineering, and so this is it. And so we do spend, especially block 1, which is also called module 1, we spend a lot of time there with that, okay? The course text is Applied Numerical Methods with MATLAB for Engineers and Scientists, 3rd edition. You do not need to have this text. I recommend it. You can also find previous editions, maybe the 2nd edition or the 1st edition, probably a lot cheaper online. Feel free to get those. I recommend having a book. I think it's worth it, but I'm not going to force you to get it, but I think it's worth it. And the homework, talk a little bit about the homework. Like I said, the course is divided into 5 blocks or 5 modules. Each one will have a large homework due at the end of each block, okay? So you shouldn't start at the last minute. That's really important, okay? And dedication to homework is really the most important factor in your grade. So even though it's only 20%, I find the students that learn how to do the homework on their own tend to do the best in the course. The students who don't do a lot of homework or just get the answers from other people and don't really know what they're doing, that comes out on the tests, okay? And so you'll need to scan your homework and submit it to the Dropbox. So let me take you to the Dropbox. The Dropbox, you go to Assessments, Dropbox right here. That's another key point. And you'll see that there's a list for each homework, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll click on there, and you should be able to submit your homework there, okay? You don't need to use engineering paper or anything like that. But if you do have a MATLAB file or Excel file, I expect 1 MATLAB file or Excel file per program. Okay, so you might have, some homeworks might have multiple programs. Every program should have its own file. That just keeps it simple, okay? So you go back here, I'm gonna go back here to content and go back here to the syllabus, load that up. Okay, so homework really important, 20% of grade. Exams, okay, we got 2 exams. This is basically the approximate dates. The midterm will cover blocks 1 through 3. And it'll be somewhere in the range of June 26th through June 28th. I'll work with you. I'll send out an email weeks before so that we can nail down a date and a time for the exam to occur both in Pensacola and Fort Walton Beach. But I also know some of you won't be able to come to Pensacola or Fort Walton Beach, and so for some of you, I will need to arrange for you to take the exam somewhere else. Probably the best place would be a college or university near you so that it can be a proctored exam. The exams must be proctored. You can't just take it on your own, okay? And so you'll need to work with me to arrange a location for you to take that exam. But all the exams should be taken within the June 26th through 28th range for the midterm, and for the final somewhere between August 8th and 10th. And again, I will arrange a time on campus in Pensacola and Fort Walton Beach for students who can do that. And I would really encourage most students, if you can make it, please come to Pensacola and Fort Walton, though I know that some may not be able to make it, and I understand that, and that's why I will make other arrangements. Okay? And so the final exam covers all the blocks, but has a little bit more emphasis in blocks 4 and 5. Okay? This is page 2. You can read that on your own. And then again here, this is at the end of the syllabus here, page 3. That shows the blocks, how we divide the course, and it shows the due dates for each homework. So you have a homework due June 1st, okay? In fact, I've already posted that. So if you go to Course Materials Content and you click on Module 1, you'll see all sorts of stuff here. And a lot of students will say, well, what do I do here? What's going on, okay? Well, first you have a decision you have to make, okay? Pretty much all of homework 1 is programming, okay? And you have to decide, are you going to program in MATLAB or are you going to program in Excel, okay? I would say most students choose MATLAB, but you know, there are some advantages and disadvantages to it. Probably the biggest advantages are that with MATLAB, I think it's a little bit easier to learn, and also there is more help because I have 3 different MATLAB videos here, and I have a nice MATLAB tutorial, okay? So there's probably a little bit more help. But then the drawback of MATLAB is that you probably don't have it on your computers at home, okay? And it costs like $100 to download a student version. So most students don't want to do that, and they want it free. Well, there is one way to access MATLAB for free, and it's through something called Argo Apps. And you should be able to have, everyone should have access to Argo Apps. You can go to UWF, inside my UWF, and search for Argo Apps. And you should get yourself to this kind of page, and then you can see, you can click on MATLAB here, and it will load up MATLAB, and you can write your programs, and you can run MATLAB just like you would have at home through this Argo Apps application. Now, the only issue you have to be careful of with Argo Apps is that it can be a little bit tricky to save your programs. You have to make sure you understand where you're saving them. So when you make a program, what we'll do is you'll click New Script here. And then when you do that, you'll type your program. So whatever it is, you'd be typing things like 4j equals 1 to 10 or something like that. And then maybe you're displaying, hello. This is just a sample program like that. And then you could, you have to save it here. But when you save it, you have to know where you're saving it, okay? You can save it to your device, you can save it to your H drive, or you can save it in the Argo Apps area, okay? So know where you're saving it, and make sure that you can also save a copy somewhere where you can submit it, because you need to submit it to the Dropbox, okay? When you're done, you submit it to the Dropbox, okay? Now, you don't have to use MATLAB Argo Apps. You can also come into campus and use MATLAB, or you can just use Excel. Okay, in Excel, I do have a tutorial here for Excel, a video that I've made, and I also have several nice handouts here for Excel. Okay, so if you want to do it in Excel, great. If you don't want to do it in Excel, that's fine. Do it in MATLAB. Okay, and I've got some information there how to use MATLAB and everything. So you actually get the homework here. If you click Homework 1 Problems, you'll see, okay, well, there's a bunch of problems. Okay, do you have to do all 20? No, you don't have to do all 20. You're assigned homework based upon your UWF ID. So the last 3 digits of your ID, you're assigned random homework problems. And then everyone has to do problem number 4, which is on the next page right here. Okay? So for each one of these things, you produce a program. So you'll have 4 programs. They'll either be 4.m files, or 4 Excel files, okay, for each one of those. And then when you're done, you'll put them in the Dropbox, okay? And then we'll grade those. Now, for other modules, modules 2, 3, 4, and 5, for those modules, you do not always have to program, okay? You will have to make some programs, but they don't all have to be programs, okay? So sometimes they don't have to all be programs. Remember that, okay? There are some programs required for module 2, 3, 4, and 5, but they're not all programs, okay? So just remember that. You can do some of the homework by just writing it out on paper and scanning it and sending it in, okay? And submitting it again to the Dropbox. So remember, module 1 is all programming, but modules 2, 3, 4, and 5 are not all programming, okay? There's some programming, but they're not all of it. In fact, most of it's not, okay? Okay, so I've gone over that. I've gone over the syllabus. I mentioned that there's a copy of the textbook right there. There's equation sheets for midterms, so we'll have a lot of information there. I've talked about that. Basically, how would you go about the course? Basically, what you do is you watch the videos, do the homework for each one, and just keep track of the due dates, okay? Watch the videos, do the homework, and you'll notice some of them have a lot of videos, okay? And I will place more homework here as we go. The only homework that I've placed in so far as I've made this video is homework 1. But there's also homework 2 that'll be placed in here, and 3, and so forth, okay? So I've gone over the homework. I've gone over how to access stuff. One more thing, communication. If you go to discussions, if you'd like to post questions on the discussion board, that would be great, okay? If you have questions, you know, I really suggest that you send me your code if you have problems, okay? I know that learning code is going to be a challenge for some of you, and so I would really suggest that you start early, okay? I can't overemphasize that. Start early, start early, start early. And when you start early, make sure that you work, try to type some things up, and even if it doesn't work, send it to me, and I can help you a little bit. Or maybe post a little bit on this discussion board, and we'll see if I can help you there, or maybe our grader can help a little bit. We'll see. I don't know, but we'll try to get you some help. Okay. I know that the programming can be difficult, so please start early with the programming. Okay. And so I've gone over that. I've talked about the tests and how that's going to be. I've gone through the syllabus and everything there. So I think I've gone through everything that you'll need to know. Please reach out to me if you have any questions with my email, and let's have a great summer.